And the goalie that this UMass offense is going to have to try and solve is Brody Wilson, the senior from Downingtown, Pennsylvania, a guy who earned this position. It was, of course, Jack Starr, who was the starter for the last couple of seasons. Won a national championship as the starting goalie, but Starr injured at the beginning of the season. Brody Wilson has stepped in and has not given that up. Starr is healthy and ready to go if needed, but at the moment, for Andy Shea, it's Brody Wilson in goal for Yale. On the UMass side of things, a freshman. It's Matt Note getting his fifth start of the season. He's the first true freshman to start as the season opening goalie for UMass since Doc Schneider back in 2006. Of course, Schneider, one of the greats at UMass, now an assistant coach for the Minutemen. At the faceoff X, TD Erlin, as we mentioned, in the open for Yale, going up against another freshman in Zach Hockman.
Great 50-50 battle right away. You can tell Hockman gets to his feet to try to stop TD from popping it out clean. Great battle, but you're going to make TD have to earn this all day long.
Erlin wins the faceoff, going right through, takes a hit. The backup here for Yale to keep possession to open things up on offense.
Now you're UMass, you're saying, okay, we're going to be on defense today plenty. Let's be smart about it, and let's step this game up. This is not going to be something that's going to take them by surprise.
There's Christian Kropp coming out of the midfield, joined by Lucas Kotler and Brian Tevlin on the first midfield unit for the Bulldogs. At attack, Jackson Morrill, Matt Brandow, and Matt Gaudette. Here is Morrill. Now the midfield, Tevlin dodging, sends it behind. The sophomore Brandow to Gaudette, a little twister, shots wide. Still plenty of time to operate for the Bulldogs.
Yale looks clean out of the gate. Keep the ball moving, a cold day. Stay warm. A lot of talk from UMass right now. They look really excited.
Kotler dodges down the alley, sends behind to Morrill. Coming off such a huge season a year ago, continues to climb up the all-time rankings in terms of points and goals, and that pass a little high, a turnover for Yale.
So that's what you want to do all day if you're UMass. Get in, fly around, the guy who's hot, great communication, move quickly, and make Yale have to earn it by throwing it across the field in those kinds of situations.
Easy clear here for UMass, a team that uses a lot of two-way midfielders. You will see number 14, a guy like Jeff Traynor, and a couple others go both ways on defense and offense for the Minutemen.
And so for people at home who wonder what's a two-way midfielder, a guy who can run back in on D, can stay on, handle the ball on offense, and you can really earn transition that way throughout the game.
Dodging from that far wing is Charlie O'Brien. His pass a little low, and Chris Conley couldn't handle it.
Something you're going to want to watch today is the efficiency of UMass when they do have possession. Can they cash in on it? Shooting percentage, looking for shots that are high percentage, making sure it counts, and now riding.
And this was this has been a bit of an adventure for Yale. The clearing game just right around 65% on the season, and some issues here as it's turned over around midfield. It was a problem against Penn State. One of the reasons why Penn State got an early goal on Mac O'Keefe. Some issues in the clear. Now a transition chance for Traynor, shoots wide. Conley there to back it up and keep it possession.
For those at home watching this game, the #1 statistic that you want to pay attention to, non-face-off ground balls. And talking to Coach this week, that is going to be the key. Can they win the ground ball battle outside of the face-offs? Can they ride and earn extra possessions? And when they get those possessions, can they cash in?
Conley moves it along behind the cage. It's Carter Castillo, the freshman from Franklin, Massachusetts. His pass is off and is picked up by Sean Cutton.
Now that's a luxury if you're Yale. You have a shorty playing defense behind the cage. No one even thought about sliding. That's incredible.
Shows you a little bit about the athleticism as Cutton from range is stopped by Note. Yale there for the backup. They'll keep possession. Early save for the freshman.
I love the feel of a game, beginning of a game. Who's going to get that first goal? You can see everybody on the sidelines really pumped up. That first goal means so much in big games like this.
Here's Logan Solberg wearing that number 2 we were so used to seeing Ben Reeves wear for the Bulldogs. Similar size as well. Sitting there at 6'2", 200. This shot up high, and it's good.
Talk about height.
Thomas Bragg, the 6'4", 200 sophomore from Cazenovia, striking first.
Great ball movement. We talked about it on the first possession. Yale has the ball, keeping it hot, not getting white-knuckled as a #1 team in the country. Bang, bang, bang. Take what the defense gives you. Step down shot, full confidence, doesn't hesitate at all, steps right into this.
And here comes Kobe Smith. Turn it on the Jets. Here he comes, and he snipes top shelf. That is why he's going to be playing likely in the PLL this summer. Kobe Smith goes end-to-end for his 4th of the year. This one's deflected away. Kobe Smith showing you, hey, we got All-American defensemen on this end too. PLL coaches take note of that range because him in transition in the PLL game with that 2-point line is absolutely filthy. That play right there, that's why you're going to see Kobe Smith playing this summer in the PLL.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you lean in for that check, and at the same time, your opponent takes a step away, and you end up completely whiffing on the shoulder.
His UMass team has not been good on the man up, and there a early shot in front is saved by Wilson.
Yeah, it's funny because their offense on 6-on-6 moves the ball so well so far. And then they get a man-up opportunity, and 2 seconds in, they just stuff it into the crease. And that's probably what coaches talked about with the inconsistency.
Came into the game and the man up 2 of 16. That's at 12%. Not what Coach Greg Cannella would like. We're under 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter, but the Minutemen, the 2-goal lead over #1 here early on. Jackson Morrill settles things down. And we're all back to even strength after Yale kills off that penalty. At first midfield line of Kotler, Tevlin, and Kroppen for Yale. Morrill's pass a little wide, another turnover for the Bulldogs. It's already 7 turnovers for Yale in this first quarter.
You know, a lot of people say, oh, now they're ranked #1, so maybe they're getting a little white-knuckled out there. That's not the case right now. UMass is doing a great job. Every time an attackman for Yale's behind the cage, you see him look inside, and it is not there. So then they have to make their second pass.
Unsettled situation. Jeff Traynor steps down and scores again. The senior with his 8th of the year.
That was a rocket. Now, if you're going to let a guy of these dimensions, look at, you're going to let this guy pro hop. I mean, this was a 6-step crow hop right here. Maybe,
1, 2, 3.
Yes. The fence has got to get out there, man. That goalie's your friend. Watch out for your boy.
Look, we talked to Cannella about this week. When do you know if this UMass team is ready to go? He said about 5 or 6 minutes in. It took a little longer. This team's ready to play today. Achman took a big swing there at Erlin, but another face-off winning ground ball for TD.
That looked like it was Nolan Enigas again, but I'm not positive.
Either way, TD is a perfect 6 for 6 at the face-off X here in the first quarter.
Now here's the thing, though. If you're going to go against a guy who's going to win a majority of the clamps, they're forcing him to exit back towards his goal. You can deal with that. What you can't deal with is that momentum-changing fast break goal.
Thomas Bragg, he has the lone goal so far for Yale. Solberg.
Looks inside, there's no one open again. Great job by UMass. And then he has to take that shot. And I mean, that's been the story so far on this defensive end for UMass.
Brandow shot a little wide. Back up here for Morrill with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Cutting back to Gaudet. Nice check and a takeaway for UMass. And here's Charlie O'Brien, another one of those two-way midfielders. This gives you a little bit of an advantage if you're UMass, a chance to keep that guy on, maybe get something as Yale wants to substitute.
Yeah, 100%. And the two-way midfielder thing is huge. They have not given up any transition for Yale. They've done a great job riding, and in fact, they've been able to score on transition.
About a 2-second differential between the shot clock and game clock here at the end of the first quarter. So UMass can't completely hold for one, but essentially can wait for one final shot here in the quarter. This is Philpott working against the long stick midfielder Brian Ward. "25 seconds all the way out by midfield. Now draws a switch onto a short stick. And he gets another one to go.
Just like Coach wrote it up. Let's hold the ball for a minute, get a screen, run in a serpentine pattern, and just stick the goal. Fantastic. I mean, that couldn't have been more well orchestrated. You took the air out of the ball. Yale only has 16 seconds left, even if they win this faceoff, and you scored a goal right before the end of the quarter. This is great stuff from UMass right now.
The captain, Billy Philpott, a senior from Sandwich, Massachusetts, already has a pair here in the first quarter.
So you're going to see UMass set up on this faceoff. Everybody's going to be on the defensive side. Yep. Do not let them go forward. Great job.
Here's Hockman, gets his first faceoff win. Still 9 seconds to go. Conley tries to feed the crease, and Wilson able to snag it out of the air.
Could you imagine what would have happened on that sideline if UMass scored?
Brings us to the end of the first quarter. Back in Amherst, Massachusetts, UMass off to a hot start against Andy Shea's Yale Bulldogs, the top-ranked team in the country. Be back at it again here in Amherst, and things could certainly change for UMass if they can find a way to take down the #1 team in the country here today. This UMass squad already with a win over then 12th-ranked Ohio State on the road. So they've shown they've got the talent to compete at this level. It's the consistency. Can you get off to a hot start? How does that continue throughout 60 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, when UMass has been in plenty of games like this, it all comes down to the players that are on your sideline. How have they experienced situations like this? None of them on the sideline have experienced beating a #1 team. However, they've been in plenty of grind out, knockdown, slugfest. So the question is going to be, are you going to watch the score? Are you going to watch the clock from now on? Or are you just going to keep playing our game, do what's gotten us here?
And they're certainly not intimidated by this Yale squad. They've gone toe-to-toe with them for the last couple of years. Nothing Yale's going to do is going to surprise them. His trainer gets free. His shot is deflected, but Prosic able to come up with the ground ball, but it's quickly dropped, and Yale a chance to clear. Weitzel trying to kick it forward, eventually finding a blue jersey, and it's Matt Brandow, the sophomore, to settle things down.
You know, 4 goals used to be a big deal in college lacrosse. With the shot clock now, it's just play the game. 4 goals is nothing.
Second midfield unit back on for Yale. Solberg draws the long pole. UMass pressuring out on these middies.
Every time a Yale player catches the ball, there's a UMass player 1 step away from his gloves. And it has to continue to stay that way.
Mentioned this Yale offense, so potent. They've got so many options. We've seen it so far this season, averaging 15 goals a game entering this one.
Got a shorty on the island right here, and they are not letting him get to the middle of the field.
Morrill, All-American attackman. Now 8 seconds on the shot clock. Pass deflected by UMass, and the Minutemen come up with it.
The trend continues on defense, forcing Yale to spin it and then have to make a tough pass.
And how about Jeff Trainer here? I don't believe he's left the field. Here, skip passes to Prosick. Trainer's got a couple of goals, and now he's got an assist. Prosick's second of the day.
For those of you who have never gotten a chance to watch Trainer play, this is a stud. Poise right across. That is a Tommy Schreiber type of pass. All the way across the defense. That is what a professional lacrosse player does. And he made it look that easy against the #1 team in the country. Didn't even blink.
And you look at Trainer, 6 foot, 190, big physical guy from Billerica, Massachusetts. Also a tough guy as part of this UMass team. Hockman again making TD work for it. But a second violation on the freshman, so Yale another offensive set.
I don't know what that call was. Hockman did a great job of getting to his feet, and by rule, when you clamp the ball as a faceoff guy, you're allowed to take 1 step to exit. I thought they were calling it on TD, taking a whole bunch of steps.
Something to watch. One more violation here on Hockman and UMass. It'll be a 30-second penalty. Prop. Skip pass out here to Tevlin. Tic-tac-toe. Shot high from Brandow. He took a big hit afterward. No flag.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. A Matty Palin refed crew lets you play. And as long as you don't do anything stupid, they're going to let you play physical lacrosse. And it's good for everybody with these two teams playing, or we would see nothing but flags.
Jackson Morrill again has a short stick matchup here. Skip pass out top. Tevlin on the run, high again, but it looked like Note got a piece of that. That's a fresh 80 seconds here for Yale.
Just so people understand at home, a lacrosse defense is predicated on rotation. That was the 3rd slide that got to the man on the skip pass to stop that.
And he has it taken away. McIntosh with the caused turnover. There's another takeaway by Brian McIntosh.
Right here, so Drexel calls a timeout, and Hofstra gets a caused turnover right out of that. McIntosh makes the play.
It's tough to beat them.
Note with 3 saves so far in the first quarter and a half. Coming out of the timeout, Yale keeps possession. Crop. And just again, another turnover. 13 turnovers for Yale, and that's been the story offensively for them here in the first half. And Greg, that turnover differential makes up for the large impact TD has made at the faceoff ends.
100%. Non-faceoff ground balls and turnovers, and that's how you make up that impact. And look, nobody seemed to have told UMass what the rankings were before this game. This is the type of team you expect from UMass.
And that's what I think I kind of loved about Coach Cannella when we talked to him this week. He said, we're not that kind of team. We don't go, oh, bulletin board, we get the #1 team at our place. We just operate like it's any other week. Let the guys figure that out.
Yeah. And that's knowing what kind of guys you have in your locker room, right? And creating that culture. Some coaches love the bulletin board stuff, which is great for them, but that's not UMass. UMass is, if you come here, we have to beat you. So come get some, right?
Here's Kevin Tobin working from X, getting the start at attack today. Nice move, and he finishes. Goal is good. His 4th of the season, the junior, making it a 6-goal UMass lead.
I want to get Tobin at the NFL Combine on the cone drill. Watch this. Boom. Oh, these kids, man, they're young. And you don't want to be blowing some dude's ankles out. Like, have a little bit of respect.
Oh, man.
My goodness.
Kevin Tobin stopping on a dime.
I love Tobin's game, man. He rides, he feeds, and he can do that.
His younger brother, Mike Tobin, also part of the starting offense for UMass, coming in this year to join Kevin.
Kevin Tobin, it's his 4th of the season.
TD continues to do what he does, the face-off X, and Yale another chance. And another turnover. And that's the face-off man, Hockman, who's staying on defense, comes up with the ground ball.
Yeah, Hawk got lost for a second, and I love that Yale's attackmen saw TD and have enough respect for him. They actually tried to feed him the ball. It just got nicked.
That's something to think about with the freshman, Zach Hockman, face-off man for UMass. Was a great offensive player, a guy who could play just a little bit of everything when he was in high school. Was actually Notre Dame West Haven in Connecticut, their career goal leader when he was in high school. So not only did it at the face-off X successfully, also a guy who could score.
Yeah, and that's when you have that dimension. I know Ben Williams used to do that for Syracuse. If there was a false start, he would
How
take it
about
and go to the goal.
another one? Billy Philpott is putting on a shooting clinic. He's got a hat trick.
So now it's filtering down, right? So they're sitting there going, yeah, we're losing some faceoffs, but Hawk is battling, and he has a lunch pail attitude. We're clearing the ball, we're riding hard, we're winning GBs, we're causing turnovers. Let's just keep shooting, man. And these shots are not being forced. They're coming in the flow of the offense.
Remember, this Yale team last year against UMass at home, down 8-3 in the third quarter, came back to force overtime and eventually won on a Matt Gaudette goal. So they've been there against this team before, a lot of the same guys. Got to see how they react this time around.
Let's see if this confidence on offense starts to materialize on the man up.
That shot deflected before it got to Wilson, and a ground ball by Yale.
That would be a no. Okay.
Man up, we mentioned it, 12% coming into the game. They've gone 0 for 2 so far. UMass, it's the one thing that they haven't done well so far in this one against the top-ranked team in the country.
Tobin is now on defense as an attackman, and you would never guess.
Tobin, a guy who is listed as a midfielder, got the start at attack today. You get the feeling with Coach Cannella, he's got a bunch of guys he feels like are very versatile that he can use in a lot of different places.
And that's great, especially if you happen to have an injury somewhere. Having guys that don't have definitive pronounced positions is such a luxury.
Here's Thomas Bragg. Now Solberg is, we are back to even strength. Yale able to kill off that man down. Sean Cutton takes a nice shot. 10 seconds of the shot clock for the Bulldogs. On the run, that shot deflected, did not get the cage. So 3 seconds to go, and Yale's just going to send it to the corner.
So on that possession, it's happened a few times. Yale is running this double set where they have two guys inside the crease. And what Mass is doing is they're leaving their man real early, whoever's closest to the ball in a dodge. And that's why if you're watching this game, it looks like Yale's not getting ahead of steam on their dodges. It's because Mass is sliding so quickly and then filling on the backside. And they're doing a great job via communication.
Note trying to clear here. And Trainer able to find his man in an offensive set for UMass. Give UMass a lot of credit offensively. Yale's a team that can be aggressive. They are big and physical, and UMass has been completely unfazed.
We talked about this during the call this week. Yale does not have an artificial toughness to them. It's recruited, it's fostered.
Philpott, oh, is he feeling it? A 4-pack of goals for Billy here in the first. That's a career high for Billy Philpott, the senior.
I start talking about Yale's toughness, and Billy says, hey, Greg, why don't you shut up and watch this? Roll, and is that in the dead center of the field again? Dead center of the field, and you have so much net to shoot at. But what I was saying was Yale is a tough team. They recruit that way. It's the culture. But so is Mass. And a lot of times when you're not that way as a program and Yale comes to town, you start to inflate your chest and start to do uncharacteristic things. UMass is playing their game. This is who they are.
Hockman takes a big shot. That draws a flag. So a free offensive possession coming as UMass gets the face-off win and a man-up coming.
That was a bang-bang play. Hawk picked the ball up off. You had one ref standing over it saying, nope, nope, that was all chest. And Matty Palin throwing his flag 20 yards in the air. So now they're going to hold this because the shot clock,
is off,
means nothing. Yeah, don't even pay attention to that. So there's 47 seconds left in this half. They're going to hold it with the flag down.
Carry this penalty over into the second half with an 8-goal lead.
I'm sure everyone at home, this is going exactly the way you thought it would.
It's exactly what we saw coming too. UMass has taken it to the top-ranked Bulldogs through 30 minutes.
But you'll see things like this when you have a coach who worked at a program and then left and is now the head coach, where guys know each other so well. You'll see games like this.
Tobin gets free. He wants more. Make it a 9-goal lead for UMass.
Charlie O'Brien, get off the track when the train's coming through.
Who needs to wait for a penalty?
That is a play made by a man who is feeling it right now. Watch just the way he barrels in. He wasn't surprised that ball in the net at all.
Charlie O'Brien's first of the game, second of the season.
Now, if Yale can win this faceoff and hold for possession, I mean, I don't know what they can do in 9 seconds, but if I'm UMass, I'm saying everybody on the wings, get in and sprint right to the hole. Don't take a chance on it.
So that goal did not wipe off the penalty.
Penalty assessed to Yale's number 42.
So a
Brian
man
Ward.
up face-off for UMass here with 9 seconds to go.
So if UMass can get this out, that's huge.
There it is, Hockman.
Has to hold on to it now.
Got to hold on to it for 3 seconds, and he will.
Now that's huge because now UMass gets the ball to start the half man up.
And just that is a momentum shift in itself.
Yeah.
Hockman winning a face-off against the top guy, one of the top guys in the country. UMass will avoid the face-off to start the second half. And he has it taken away. McIntosh with the caused turnover. There's another takeaway by Brian McIntosh.
Right here, so Drexel calls a timeout, and Hofstra gets a caused turnover right out of that. McIntosh makes the play.
And all you have to do is go to that first quarter blueprint. Can you do what you did in the first half?
Face-off win again for TD.
Jackson Morrill.
I think it's interesting the guys getting it done for Yale offensively. Matt Brandow, no points. Jackson Morrill, just an assist. Those are the guys you look at as maybe some of the quarterbacks of this offense, but instead it's some of the midfielders, Thomas Bragg, Christian Kropp, some newer faces in terms of being in the national spotlight, making plays for the Bulldogs to get them back in this game.
Yeah, and that's what a championship caliber team has to do. You can't just have 2 guys on a team score all your points. This is a team game.
Bragg again with a good look, couldn't find the net there. Brian Tevlin looking for that skip pass, has it deflected.
And that's exactly what UMass wants you to do. They're going to close off. They're going to pressure the adjacent pass. They're going to make you get a little annoyed, so you start throwing it back over the top.
Bragg sends behind. Morrill's pass deflected again. Great active sticks here by UMass. Gaudette trying to win the ground ball. Instead ends up in the stick of Brandow. Loose ball again. 6 seconds left on the shot clock for Yale. They got to go in a hurry. And a skip pass. Nobody home. UMass comes up with it. They'll let him play despite the shot clock violation.
I think 80-second shot clock is the perfect amount of time for college lacrosse. It doesn't feel rushed, but it's like right before it starts to feel like it's been a little too long, it's 80 seconds, and I think they've got it right with the rules committee.
Freshman Mike Tobin. Now Devin Spencer. Senior skip pass out to Tobin. Down on the doorstep to Prosick. It's saved again by Starr. 3 straight saves for Jack Starr.
Jack Starr has been a shot of energy in this second half.
Tobin's pass. Great catch by Trainer. Remember, a fresh 80 seconds because that hit Jack Starr, so plenty of time for UMass here. That was a point-blank look for Gabriel Prosick there at the doorstep that Starr was able to get back and stop.
Yeah. And now you're UMass, and those shots were falling all first half, and now you've seen 3 or 4 not go in. Do you change your shot? Do you overthink it?
Prosick just couldn't get his stick completely on it. Ground ball still loose. Won by UMass. Great opportunity just wide. And the back up to Jack Starr.
Another huge save. And probably a terrible call on the official's part. I think
Tobin
it was pretty obvious who was closer to that. But look, this is going to happen. These are going to happen. Your goalie's going to come in. He's going to make saves. Yale's going to score some goals. They're going to win faceoffs. A couple bad calls. Are you going to let that define your half, or are you going to close this thing out?
Another look at a couple of these saves. Here's Prosick right on the doorstep, just kicked away. Then on the loose ball, it was a great look for Mike Tobin. And then Starr able to dive and get the possession, and a save at the other end by Note. But the outlet pass errant and gives it right back to Brandow.
So that's 2 now. 2 careless passes in the second half now by Note. He's done such a good job in the pipes. He's got to turn that around a little bit.
Kotler. Move behind, skip pass back out top. Good ball movement, Gaudette's got a hat trick. And Yale has it clicking here in the third.
So once the goals start coming in, that's when you're going to start hearing the names that you're used to saying, right? So, you know, we were like, oh man, these stars, we're not really saying their names. Well, they only had 3 goals. So now we're going to start seeing some more goals. That's when the studs are going to start to make themselves known again.
Good pass there by Matt Brandow, the standout sophomore, finding Matt Gaudette. Gaudette now up to 9 goals on the season. Hockman able to win a face-off.
Make it count, though, now.
Feeds Prosick, what a finish! Excuse me, he fed Tobin. Hockman to Tobin, and UMass is on the board.
I'm going to tell you what. Hockman is having one of the most impressive, like, 10% face-off games I've ever seen, because he is just a pit bull. Look how casual this is. Yeah, I'll get an assist right here. That'd be cool. Boom.
What a catch and finish from Kevin Tobin for his second goal.
Tobin reminds me of another UMass attackman, Sean Morris. His athleticism, his speed, the way he approaches the game, like.
We mentioned in the first half, Zach Hockman is a guy who offensively in high school was terrific. He wasn't just a face-off guy. Set the Notre Dame West Haven career goals record when he was playing in high school in Connecticut. That is a push against Zach, so a little too much physicality there. Gives the ball to UMass. Gives it to Yale.
So this is my first time in college seeing Hockman play in person. If he can refine himself as a face-off man as far as exits and footwork, he could be a special one because he has all the other intangibles.
You've gotten a look here at Kyle Zawadzki, number 21 in navy blue, getting the ball now. Has seen his first action of the year, the sophomore for Yale, midfielder. Here he feeds Gaudet. Make it a 4-pack for Matt Gaudet. Yale answers right back.
So now this isn't like a slaughter fest. This is a back-and-forth lacrosse game. So now you're starting to see a little bit of the defensive lacking on UMass, right? This pass never would have happened in the first half. This crease wide open, ball watching, no way. So now now you're getting some of that stuff. And if you're Yale, you got your foot in the door.
You knew the Bulldogs weren't going to go away. Remember, last year when these two teams met, Yale was down 8-3 in the third quarter, came back to force overtime. Matt Gaudet ending up scoring the game winner in OT. Bulldogs escaping with a victory. Hockman, another face-off win. Transition chance here. Tobin couldn't catch this one, but Gabriel Prosek able to keep the possession.
And this is the case that I always make to coaches for letting your starter just kind of figure it out. I'm not saying Hawk is going to turn around and go 80% in the fourth quarter, but you can tell he's got the flow of the game. He's starting to get the cadence down, and he's starting to see the habits of TD. If you just start throwing 2-3 guys out there, no one gets hot.
Hockman's won 2 of the last 3 faceoffs here for UMass. Here's Philpott. Philpott with 4 goals in that first half. Nothing doing in this third quarter. Yale on a 5-1 run here in the third. Philpott beats his man. Left hand shoots wide. Big chase for the backup, and it stays with UMass. A reset. It looked like Jack Starr must have gotten a piece of that. And was not supposed to be a reset. All right. Officials going to get together. Matt Palem coming over. So just 25 seconds on the offensive possession for UMass. Makes a lot of difference here late in the third quarter. You can't hold for 1.
And we've seen the effect now from Starr. These tighter shots are going wide because that goal looks a little smaller. You don't have that confidence. You start to feel like I have to ping the corner in order for this thing to have a chance.
Devin Spencer feeds. Tobin on the run.
What a
backhand flip. Falling down. We got a whistle. A loose ball push on Yale, so a shot clock reset. And UMass can hold for 1 now with 32 seconds to go. May have been a tough break because I believe it was Mike Tobin was right there on the doorstep with maybe a chance to score there on the loose ball.
Tobin just made an insane pass to make that happen too. I love watching this UMass offense. They're fun, man, when they're spinning it.
Here's Mike Tobin, the freshman, younger brother of Kevin. Moves it along, Trainer to Conley. Spencer, Tobin was on the backside, and I think he went in the crease. He did. 5 seconds left for Yale. And that will do it on the third quarter. Hey everybody, tell your friends if you're watching, get to Lax Sports Network.
So just so people know, just a few years ago, if a team that was trying to take down a number 1 was up by 3, we would see like an 8-minute possession, and it would be the worst thing ever to watch.
You could, yeah.
And now you're seeing real lacrosse all the way to the end.
Trainer Step down shot there, just high.
We just saw two
Tobin.
Yale defenders jump in front of that, trying to get hit by the ball. Yeah, they're awake.
They want this one.
Yes.
Ticking toward 8 minutes to go. UMass still up by 3 on the #1 team in the country as Jeff Traynor dodges. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Pass across to Prosick, looking in traffic. Just trying to bat it in. Wow, a loose ball push on Yale. Another fresh 80 seconds for UMass.
Yeah, so any penalty refreshes the shot clock back to 80. And that was a desperation throw inside. Usually you tell your offense, okay, with 2 seconds left on the clock, just throw it in the corner. We'll get back on defense. Instead, they threw it inside, and it actually ended up helping them.
Fans here in UMass getting excited. They can start to feel this.
It's palpable. You can feel how important this possession is. A goal for UMass would be a backbreaker, but for Yale, if a stop, you'll see that whole sideline erupt.
Long, extended possession. This is almost 3 shot clocks worth of defense Yale has had to play on this possession alone. Traynor, pass out top, step down, score! It's Mike Tobin, the freshman, with a huge one for the Minutemen.
If you could write a textbook possession right now in this game for UMass, extend the clock twice, and then after you've peeled a couple minutes off, get a step down shot on a hot goalie and stick it. Draws the slide, throws it all the way over the top. Now there's a backside screen by number 5. He's actually screening the man who was supposed to come out for that. Great design on that offensive set.
And the feed there from Jeff Traynor, the senior. He has put together a really impressive game. His second of assists to go along with a couple of goals. 4 points for Jeff Traynor. Now up to 13 points on the season. Remember, down 4 with Yale's faceoff advantage. Game's not over as TD Erlin wins another faceoff. Continues to dominate there at the X.
And that's what's kind of interesting. We talked about Hawk, if he can become a more refined face-off guy, he's winning clamps against probably the best all-around clamper the game has ever seen. And he just doesn't really know where to throw it. And because UMass is so used to TD winning clamps, they're coming in hard. So when Hawk does win the clamp, he doesn't have anywhere to go. His own wings are in the way.
Look out for Thomas Bragg. Floats one behind to Brandow. He's back in after taking an injury break. Brandow looking for an answer. Left hand shoots wide. Erlin now 19 of 25 at the faceoff X. Thomas Bragg already with 2 goals, the big midfielder out of Cazenovia, New York. Another good look there on the left hand.
It's a lot harder for a taller guy to have good change of direction, but what he does really well is after his roll, he has a massive first step that creates separation for that shot.
Morrill passes back to Cutton. Brandow to Gaudet, tic-tac-toe. Yale with the answer. And a 5-pack of goals for Matt Gaudet.
And here's what's crazy is UMass played great defense right there. It was just better offense. Look, the slide comes, force him underneath. He gets the ball, second slide's coming. And the third, I mean, the original guy who was beat, okay, so watch 5, he's beat, the slide comes. It's almost impossible for him to get there in time. But it was all done so well by Yale.
And he has it taken away. McIntosh with the caused turnover. There's another takeaway by Brian McIntosh.
Right here, so Drexel calls a timeout, and Hofstra gets a caused turnover right out of that. McIntosh makes the play.
and it's been very entertaining.
Top-ranked Bulldogs looking to complete a gigantic comeback. They've trailed by as many as 9. Out of the timeout, Morrill sends it back out top. Zawadski. Now Kotler. Good pressure there from Trainer. Morrill, step. Note got a piece.
They didn't change the clock. I don't think it, oh, it did, okay.
And let's see, Matt Palem's shaking his head. I'm not sure. So they're gonna say that that did not get a piece of note, I believe. So the shot clock reset. However, they're gonna make sure they get this right because of what the time means. So I guess if this is the case, it did get a piece of note. You get a shot clock reset, you just want to take more time off of it?
Yeah, so I think what they're saying is the shot clock should have been reset.
Did not reset,
Yeah.
so they just wanted to take more time off this shot clock. It must have paused at some point.
Okay, so the shot clock, shouldn't have been reset, but because it was, they have to take more time off of it.
Devlin feeds and a turnover.
People at home, we figured it out. Now it's UMass ball.
Now keep an eye on this clear. Yale has done a terrific job in the ride here in the second half, making UMass really think about this.
They're gonna go with a hero ride.
Jeff Trainer has been the guy for UMass. He's barely left the field at times throughout this game.
And he looks fresh too. Shout out to UMass Strength and Conditioning Department. These guys have plenty of energy now with 3 minutes left.
He's a senior playing against #1 team in the country in his building.
Yeah, I think if you're not up for that, then you gotta check your pulse.
Billy Philpott trying to add to his 4-goal total.
This will be a full-on use the clock.
Philpott stopped by Starr. Rebound. Still stays out, and Starr able to collect.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher. You got 30 seconds left on the clock. But, you know, I'm not in the huddle, so coach could very well just be saying, look, if you get your shot, take it. You know, who's gonna give you crap about that?
Philpott was feeling it in the first half. Solberg thought about it. It's off the freshman, sends it behind now to Morrill, the senior.
But now Yale's got to be in a little bit of a speed version of their offense because they have to score and give themselves time to get some more.
Solberg, little hitch. Feed in front, stopped by Note. Oh, the freshman stealing one. Man. What a stop, but trouble in the clear for UMass. And so Note and his defense back on alert.
That Note coming out party right now.
Matt Brandow. Under 2 minutes to go for #1. Brandow stopped again. The freshman with 2 gigantic saves.
Matt Note, welcome to the party. You're going to have Doc Schneider, one of the best to do it, on that sideline, beaming with pride right now. Can UMass finish this?
Matt Note, the first freshman to start a season opener for UMass since the great Doc Schneider, now a assistant coach here for the Minutemen, and Note is making his own statement here today. Big hit.
Wow.
And a whistle there, loose ball call, stays with UMass, it's a fresh 80 seconds. They can hold this for the rest of the game if they can play keep away. Jack Starr way out of the crease. Some dangerous.
That's the guy you want to have it.
Floats, Tobin.
Tobin and his 3.240.
Looking for one more. It's Starr who makes the stop out of the crease, and here he comes. 46 seconds away from the upset for UMass. Starr across midfield. Solberg has it taken away. What's the call?
No one knows. So Yale went off sides. When Starr came across, no one stayed back. And now UMass can finish this game. Incredible.
An 11-2 lead at the half as UMass calls a timeout. An 11-2 lead at the half has whittled away, but UMass just enough here in the final 30 minutes, and they're holding on to a 3-goal lead with under 30 seconds to go. And Craig, how about the play of Matt Note, the freshman?
See ball, stop ball. We talked about it early. You have a young guy that gets hot early, gets some confidence. And this isn't like the first half. They're getting good shots. And he's just stepping up and he's saying, you know what? I want this on my resume. It's my time.
And look at the excitement from Matt Note. Last win against Yale back in 2017. Looking to end a 3-game losing streak against the Bulldogs. And for head coach Greg Cannella, who has 45 times beaten a top 15 team in the country, this would be his first ever victory over a #1 squad.
Which is shocking because he is universally respected as one of the greatest college lacrosse coaches in the history of this sport. Good for him. Wow. I guess it takes the mentor to take down someone like...
He's beaten #2, he's beaten #3, he's beaten #4. It's just elusive to beat that #1 team in the country, and Jeff Trainer trying to finish it off. He thought about it, now he shoots wide. Yeah. Trainer's looking for the hat trick.
Coach is just sitting there going, can we get out of here, guys?
How about Billy Philpott to run this one out? 4 goals for the redshirt senior. He sends it to the corner. Out of bounds with 3 seconds to go, and that's going to do it for this one. Hang a lantern up in the Old North Church. Tell your friends, UMass has knocked off the #1 team in the country. 13-10 your final, the Minutemen completing the upset.